The F1 season rolls on as we have got a second triple header, and it's time to review practice 1 and 2 for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Welcome back to the channel, Fog Racing. Tell you what, right, I like Imola, but obviously due to the whole following and dirty air, F1 has kind of nosedived since these recent regulations have come in terms of racing. But you know what? It's a triple header. There's reasons to be excited. I'm actually more excited for Monaco than most races this season just due to the two-stopper. But that's next weekend. And then I believe after that's Barcelona. And the talk is that's when McLaren are going to get their advantage pulled back. But they certainly didn't get it pulled back here because it was 1-2s across both sessions into first practice. Piastri leads Norris. Piastri, I talked about it last week. He's the most improved driver over the winter. Honestly, I think it looked like Oscar Piastri winning the world championship based off of last season and his first year as well. It seemed borderline. I mean, I'll go say borderline impossible, but maybe that's a wee bit too extreme. But he has improved tenfold, man. He's went from he can beat Norris on occasion like last season to beating him. It appears every weekend now, beating him on pace. I think Norris overall, right, has actually got more pace than Oscar Piastri, but Piastri's got a cooler head. He's got better racecraft. 9 times out of 10, that's going to come more to fruition, I think. I mean, Norris just makes mistake after mistake after mistake. But what I would like to see is these two guys actually fighting for a victory, because there hasn't been one. You know, like you look back at the Mercedes years, right, with Rosberg and Hamilton, it was like every other race those guys would battle. I think we're really lacking it this year. Now, obviously, you do have like Verstappen and Russell up there getting a wee bit involved, but for the most part, it's going to be McLaren versus McLaren. I want to see it on track battles, but like I just discussed, I think the fact that Piastri's much better at racecraft might be a wee bit of a foregone conclusion. I think that Piastri would just smoke Norris. But third spot, Carlos Sainz. Williams looking good. Albon 8th as well. Russell was 4th. Hamilton 5th. Pierre Gasly was 6th in P1. Not his highest. Not the highest he finished today. Verstappen 7th. Bortoleto. Red flag came out. He stuck it in the wall. But I tell you what, P9's pretty good for him. Hulkenberg 10th. Decent for Sauber. Leclerc down in 12th. Antonelli 13th at his home Grand Prix. Apparently he went to school just down the road from here. So good for him. Ollie Behrman 18th. Franco Colapinto back in to Formula One with Alpine with Flavio Briatore. So that is your P1 results. Not really representative. I think this weekend's the first introduction of the C6 tyre, so I mean theoretically the tyres should degrade, but they were able to do a couple of laps on the C6, so I don't know if that's going to be the case. But going in to practice 2. Ocon down in 20th, Antonelli 18th, surprises there. I mean, Aston Martin down the bottom as well. Berman 12th. The Haas is a weird car, folks. It appears to, it's either best of the rest or it's the slowest. I feel like there's like no in between with that team. Colapinto 13th in the Alpine, but his teammate was up in P3. Absolutely brilliant for Gasly. We've seen in Saudi as well. He managed to get fastest on one of the practice sessions. So again, it's not representative of all that too much, but I think they'll go well. Williams 9th and 10th, Shinoda 8th, Hadjar 7th, he brought out a late red flag. Verstappen 5th, a bit of moaning on the radio about his Red Bull. Good to see Shinoda, relatively close to him. But yeah, the McLaren's holding about what, 3, 4, 5 tenths over their rivals in Red Bull, Ferrari, etc. There is a bit of rain potentially for Sunday. Hopefully it can hit, but I'm just expecting to see McLaren dominate this weekend. But as has been the pattern this season, they've been much closer in quali trim than they have race trim. So maybe that'll open the door for someone to get pole position who knows other than a papaya car. But aye, that'll do it here on Fog Racing. That is your practice recap. Hopefully a good weekend in terms of action, but it's beginning to look more and more like Oscar Piastri's season. Can anyone stop him? Can his teammates stop him? Find out this weekend. Until next time, peace.